No, I don't stand by it, and I'll tell you why. I've now lived 4 years under the Biden-Harris policies, and I have to say that those policies are not only becoming an existential threat to our country's way of life, but to our allies as well.
So when you,
and
Ambassador, I'll let you finish, but this is so striking. You said it was a no for me after that, after January 6th.
I did.
And here we are right now.
I did.
And you're saying it's a yes for you.
It is a yes for me. It is an absolute yes for me. That is how badly the Biden-Harris team have prosecuted their job.
I love the look on Pete Navarro's face at this point in time. I mean, honestly, I can tell you exactly what he's thinking.
Welcome to the party, pal!
So Kamala Harris did an interview with a local radio station, KDKA in Pittsburgh. And so, of course, she was answering a few questions about the election as far as her positions and everything like that. So let's take a look.
Well, Madam Vice President, I don't have to tell you how important natural gas is to this region. It's how we heat our homes and our factories in this region. It's very plentiful and cheaper than oil. And we extract natural gas through fracking. So I wanted to ask you, there's a political ad on TV from a 2019 Climate Hall town meeting that you had, in which you basically said, quote, "There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking," unquote. The ad claims that if you're elected president, you will ban fracking and you will cost Pennsylvania over 300,000 jobs. Have you changed your view on fracking? And if so, why?
So let me start by saying that that ad, as you described it, is absolutely a mischaracterization that I think is intended to make people afraid of my presidency. And let me be absolutely clear, as I've been, when I said it back in 2020, I will not ban fracking. I did not as vice president. In fact, I cast the tie-breaking vote to open up more fracking leases. And my perspective on this is grounded in a number of things, including that we don't have to ban fracking to do the work that we can do to also invest in a clean energy economy. So that's where I stand, period. As President of the United States, I will not ban fracking. I did not as Vice President of the United States. And frankly, I think some of those ads are misleading intentionally to suggest to folks that they should be afraid, because on the other side, what you've got in my opponent is somebody who could and has not really done much about lifting up the middle class. My perspective on this issue is that I'm going to bring jobs back to rural communities. I'm going to make sure that we invest in those communities that have done the kind of work that you have in mind when we talk about Pittsburgh, when we talk about the greater aspect of Pennsylvania, and I'm going to keep doing that work.
Let me move to another issue that's important to...
Now, you'll notice she didn't answer the question as to why she changed her mind. And what was it that made her change her mind? I can tell you exactly what changed her mind. She's running for president. Back in 2019 and 2020, during those interviews, she was running for vice president. Or actually, she did run for president, but she didn't get any votes. So what's going on is that Kamala Harris is basically changing her position. Now, yes, she did do that tiebreaker in the Senate. The thing was that it may have said that, yes, I'm going to expand on fracking, but the thing is that there had already been many executive orders filled out by President Biden when he first took office that basically restricted oil and gas production for environmental reasons. So she's actually kind of like begging the question at that point in time. She's also not answering anything. As like I said before, she never said why she changed her mind. And as I said, she changed her mind because she's in an election right now. All right, so here we go. Here's going to be the crux of the situation at this point in time. This is the big question. If she's going to change everything, why didn't she do it in the past 4 years? Let's take a listen.
Yeah. Two more quick questions, Madam Vice President. Former President Trump says that you've had 4 years as vice president to do all the things you've promised in the campaign, but haven't done it. Is he right, or did President Biden not give you or limit it in some way your role as vice president?
So let's start with this. I think that the former president is really becoming quite desperate, and is really been offering a lot of misstatements and misinformation.
It's not information to say, why have you not done what you say you're going to do now? Vice President, yes, it's probably one of the most powerless positions in government. The thing is that it's also very influential. You are next in line. You're next person up. So your voice adds weight. So there are times where the vice president can have basically an effect on policy. And right now, she is having an effect on policy. She agrees with everything that's going on.
And perhaps it's because he wants to distract from the fact that he has offered no plan for the American people. I have talked about this before. I invite you to go to his rallies, and what you'll hear about full time is him talking about himself and his personal grievances, but what you won't hear him talking about is you and the needs that you have as a working person, as a family person.
This is absolutely crazy. Trump doesn't have to relate a position. He was president 4 years ago. 4 years ago, gas was cheaper, the cost of living was cheaper, inflation was down, there were no wars, and we had no intention of getting into any wars. So he doesn't have to go into an expansive discussion of what he's going to do. We've already seen what he's going to do. What we need is something a little bit more substance out of Ms. Harris here.
My plan is about building an opportunity economy where I'm going to give first-time home buyers a $25,000 down payment assistance so they can get their foot in their door to be able to be a homeowner. My plan is about $6,000 tax deduction for middle-class families for the first year of their child's life to help them buy a crib or a car seat. My plan is about getting a $50,000 tax deduction to start up businesses, to our small businesses, knowing that they are part of the backbone of America's economy. Those are my plans. And I think that, unfortunately, what we've got on the other side is someone who wants to distract from the fact that his plan is about giving billionaires and big corporations a tax break like he did the last time and doing that again.
But you would acknowledge that as vice president, you can't do the things that you can do as president.
Well, absolutely. There's only one president of the United States.
So basically you figured out why this individual is doing this interview, and possibly why he's still doing local news. This was a softball interview. This had absolutely no teeth to it whatsoever. And basically what he's doing is he's saying, yes, everything that you said is absolutely and utterly true. And we've pretty much gotten that from the news media for, the past 20 years, even before that. So that's what we have, folks. This is what we have running for the Democrat side of the presidency at this point. This woman that you're looking at right now got her positions, got pretty much everything she had because she is a woman of color. As far as effort and everything like that, when all your qualifications are woman of color and all the positions that I had, I probably got because of who I was sleeping with at the time. And yes, I said that.
You got idea!
So that's all for me today, folks. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, keep an eye out. Make sure you know when I post another one of my videos. Send me some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have the same opinion of Ms. Harris that I do. So, anyway, thank you very much. Later days.